Hello everybody and welcome back to Bedrock Survival with Fix. This is going to be an odd one, I'm telling you kind of up front, because I have recorded this now 2 times. The first time was a total mess because I realized about 2/3 of the way through that what I was trying to do for the episode did not work. I'm going to take you through it. Then I recorded earlier tonight a full 40-minute long episode before edits, and my mic for some reason was not recognized by Streamlabs OBS. I can't explain it. It just is the way it was. So I got nothing. Like, out of all the episodes I've recorded in a row, all of a sudden it just didn't recognize my mic. So I think it's working now. I guess if it's not, you'll never see this. But let me show you what I'm working on. You see this? This very natural looking organic shape here of a straight line. I've decided to go all in. So let me explain what we're working on today first, and then I'll tell you what didn't work. Well, you remember those raised sort of, I don't know what you call it, like raised medieval monorail or something, those raised tracks that I had for villagers to move them around. And I was thinking like, well, these aren't forever and blah, blah, blah. And we'll probably take them out. Or maybe not. I have thought a lot about it. I've decided that we should go all in on the track system. Now, what I mean by that, don't worry about that. We'll get to it. What I mean by that for the all-in thing is that I took it down completely and I put it back up, but a little bit better shaped. And this is going to be the system that I start with for phase 1 of this. It's going to have a roof going over the whole thing and some really nice, big, bulky, sort of probably basalt and blackstone raised, what would you call it? Supports, I guess, that go up the whole thing. I think it's going to be really cool. It's going to add a lot to the whole city. And we're going to have these that go to every POI of this entire world, which means we need to go the whole way to spawn. So I've actually run it out already. This one is the one that goes from spawn. Now this thing right here is going to be my grand central station, if you will, of my little medieval kingdom of 2 brothers. And let's go take a look. The idea is going to be that you're going to come down in here. We're going to redo this. I'm probably going to get rid of the oak and probably make this a little bit of a nicer thing for right now. And this will be the theme of every changeover station, red and white. I think it'll be really, really cool. And then, depending on where you want to go, if you wanted to go to, for example, this one over here, this one goes to, well, the old former iron farm. This is the actual one that I sort of finished this to sort of test out and see if I liked it or not. So this one will go up to what will be eventually some sort of extension of the castle that goes over there. And then probably that one will continue over to the other parts of the castle. You know what I mean? Like this one is just going to that part of the world. Including it may even go up to the old, well, well, I'm going to show you the ink farm that, well, it's a bit of a blunder from your boy Fix, who, yeah, apparently I don't know how to build an ink farm, and I'll show you all that in just a little bit. But this is the one that I'm working on tonight because it is going to be a big one, and we're going to throw on Netflix here. I was thinking about live streaming it, to be honest, but oh man, live streaming, it takes a lot of energy, and it's about 11:40 p.m. and I want to do this for about 2 hours. And I think if I live stream, I do it for an hour, and if I just put it on Netflix, I do it for like 3 hours. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to do that and just try to get as much done as I can. Now let me take you through the entire length of this. So here's where we have it. We have it go up to here. There's going to be a station right here, right in this little area. So we'll build that at one point someday. And then it's going to keep going. You see how it stretches all over the place? It's going to be really, really cool. So if you don't want to fly, and I'm going to try to do this more often, like take the minecart, because it's going to be, I think it's going to be really interesting and fun to sort of go by all the interesting stuff that we have. Or you can take a horse still, or you can fly, or whatever, or even the nether path. Then there's going to be a little one right here. And then this one is going to take you to, goes the whole way to just shy of spawn. I ran on stone right there, but just shy of spawn. Or at this little central station, I guess not grand, minimal central station, it goes up to here. And then we'll have another little one here where you can either get off and go up to your enchanting tower, which is right up on top of this hill, or you can take it over this way, which is going to go past the enchanted forest. That's going to be this. By the way, we're going to talk about this in a moment, but I'm going to deforest this whole thing for all the wood, which is probably going to be the roof of this this train track. And then you can go to the iron farm. And then from here, this is going to turn, and this is going to take you over this direction. and sort of return you over to probably this thing. So, getting to the Squid Farm portion of the episode. Okay, so I dug out a big area of river way over here in the ocean. Let's just fly over there. I'll meet you there. So here's what I did, and this is how I sort of found out that it's not working, and how I found out about the Bedrock differences in spawning mechanics. I should say, by the time this video comes out, it's very likely going to be on 1.16.2, because I'm recording this probably 6 days ahead, depending on when I finish it, but at least for now, because I'm guessing that this week coming up here is when the full release, because the last pre-release of 1.16 snapshot was really small. Well, it was not pre-release per se, but you know, snapshot. It was a really small one. So I would kind of expect 1.16.2 to just come out. I don't think they'll do a snapshot. It didn't seem to have a lot of game-changing things. So if it does, then magma, the bubble columns, right now squid don't spawn in bubble columns, but they will again in 1.16.2. So whenever that comes out, then the regular old farm should be fixed. At the time that I started doing this though, I didn't know that that was a bug. I thought that's just, okay, squid aren't going to spawn in bubble columns anymore. So that's why I went with this one down here. And the way this works is there are 2 rows of water, then 2 rows of fence, and the water goes the whole way down. They're all source blocks. Before you say, oh, they're not source blocks, they're all source blocks that go the whole way down. It's like, I think right now it's about 9 blocks deep, maybe somewhere around there. And I have gotten absolutely no drops, like none at all, not even a singular drop. It's really ridiculous. And I've been here AFK'd for at least 5 hours. And I have a feather, 2 string, and 1 more string, and that's it. And here's how this whole thing works. I think it's a decent design. I came up with this design myself, and well, not up here. Up here I've seen that people have done this forever, but the idea of having the water flow down here and drop into this and then have it come down. And my thinking is, if the magma cubes kill the squid or the salmon or whatever, then that's cool, because the item will still fall down, and then it will get down. And if it doesn't, then they'll get down to this area. And what I was going to do eventually was drop these down a layer with magma blocks so they'd actually fall in the magma blocks and take damage, and then minecart hoppers to really get all the items. But there are literally no items. So, blah. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say, well, are you sure it's a river biome? Yes. I'm 100% sure it's a river biome because I dug it out in this specific spot because it is a river. Wow, those 2 drowned are the very first 2. Holy cow, are you serious? They're gonna contradict what I was gonna say. I was gonna say nothing has spawned here since I built this low edition. So I built this as a test. I built this as a test because nothing was spawning. It was a, hold on, now I wanna know. Nothing was spawning here. I was getting very frustrated. I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, look, see? What's going on here? What's going on with this? This is, are these not, these 3 are definitely source blocks. Because look, I can waterlog a stair. And that's so bizarre. Why is that happening that way? I don't know. Anyway, so I built this as a test because I wanted to know, well, will anything spawn? And nothing had spawned. And I AFK'd here again for quite a while, and I'm just getting nothing at all. Although you did see the salmon, so it looks like there's maybe a couple salmon that have spawned here, so maybe this will work actually. So, okay, if this will work, what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna cover this whole thing just 2 layers down, just ignore this completely, pretend like it's not even there. Cover this completely like this. The reason why I went every other block is they would spawn here. This is where the squid hypothetically would spawn, on these blocks. And then whenever they swim over the magma blocks, they get sucked down. I found that doing the checkerboard every other block, sometimes the squid just would, like the hole wasn't big enough for them to fall down. So I went with this and it seems to have worked a lot better, though I cannot explain what's going on with source blocks not for some reason like being source blocks here. This is, look at this. This is really weird. Why is that happening? I don't know. I mean, the block, is the block done updating? Nothing, it's odd. Man, that's really, and that's full blocks. That's not slabs or anything. That's super weird. Yeah, well, anyway, okay, go Bedrock. Anyway, hopefully that's being fixed in 1.16.2, and then we won't even have to worry about it. But And then if so, I could fill in this whole thing with just 1 deep magma blocks and just a lot of rails, which luckily we have access to now with our gold farm and our iron farm. So I don't know. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna wait until the update happens and come back to this project. The other thing that I built was that thing that you saw up in the sky. That's so weird. It's so weird that that happens sometimes. That thing that happened up in the sky. Let me show you that. This was another test that I did thanks to Conniptionfit, the great YouTuber, and he sent me it's a shader pack, actually, not a resource pack, but basically it shows you chunk boundaries. So I built this on the chunk boundary using that as a test to see if it worked, and it does work. You saw salmon are here. I have seen a couple, not very many, but a couple Squid Farm here. Now, the reason why I would much rather do it in that river over there is because of the build. Having a big platform up here is not acceptable in my mind. This is clearly over an ocean, where that one back there is over a river. This one would be better. It's very high up in the sky, so you would AFK about 25 blocks up, and the only thing that can spawn would be fish here. So it's really efficient, right? And in Bedrocks, squid can actually spawn this tall, whereas in Java, I think that the highest they can spawn is like 64, right? So big difference, and one that we could exploit. The problem is, like I say, having a big floating platform here is not going to be okay. So if we do a squid farm here, see that mountain? We'd have to build another mountain here. I can't think of another way to do it. Yeah, we could do a tower, but a tower would dwarf the castle, and that would be really lame. I would want to do another mountain. If we did a mountain, it would be basically from the edge of this platform up here, which honestly, I don't love that platform, so I think that would kind of help fix that a little bit, because I don't think it's great, although there's going to be a build on top of this, so that's why it's flat. But and it would basically just take up this whole bay. Like, see, you can see I picked a spot that's definitely an ocean. It's chunk aligned, and that way your minecarts don't disappear. And then what we could do is we could do a mountain right here, like just take up this whole bay, go out around, come over here, and then you still have this really beautiful like ocean here where you can see all the things. Keep these islands, maybe just start it right there. I think we can do a really cool singular mountain, whereas kind of over there we did a little bit more of a mountain range. And the good thing would be is, you know, this city that we have down here would be awesome if there were mountains on both sides. It would be so freaking awesome. It would just be amazing. So I don't know, you know, I mean, I'm kind of leaning on maybe the mountain approach, but it's going to be so long until we actually build even this mountain that to build this one over here, I'm going to have a floating platform for a very long time. So again, we're just going to wait for the update and see what happens, okay? Now, the other thing is that we're working on actually today is this railway system that's going to kind of take us around all over the place. The reason why I decided to go with this is because I was standing down here. I was standing kind of over in this field. I was looking around the city, just, you know, seeing what I like and what I don't like. And I just kind of took a look at this aqueduct. Well, it's a villager aqueduct system that we have here. I was thinking, like, man, that's kind of nice, you know? Like, it's not very detailed. It's not that interesting and stuff, but it's kind of cool. It just sort of goes there. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we use a similar kind of system for this, only a little bit less area and stuff like this. I never really intended to be exactly that. This was a thing where we just kept adding stuff because I kept losing villagers. So that's what I want to do. I want to do a roof over the whole thing. I want to do sides, and I want to do parts open air, maybe some glass parts, maybe some tunnel parts, and just make it an interesting ride no matter where you're going. Just have it look cool, and you know, you can walk it or you could ride it or whatever. I just think it'd be fun. I think it'd be nice. It'd be a nice building thing to have a bunch of really big, thick supports, and that's where I want to use the basalt and the nether brick, just to sort of, you know, add something to the city that is a little bit more unique and kind of interesting and stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really cool thing. It's going to be a massive, massive project, though. So here we are. We have a mountain, you know, that's not nearly done. We have a maybe second mountain that's not done. We have those crop fields over there that aren't done. Yeah, we have a lot of projects that aren't done and aren't even really, you know, at all, like, even a little bit close to done. So, you know, pay attention, Fix. How much am I getting into here? But I think it's going to be cool. The reason why I want an ink farm, by the way, is completely exclusively for the moon base. I want to build a lot of black and gray out there. I mean, of course, because it's like a sci-fi thing. And to do that, you need a lot of ink. The only other alternative would be a wither rose farm, and that is not really close to happening. I mean, I would have to build like a, yeah, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. The one thing I did think about was I thought about maybe taking like a bunch of chickens or cows or something and just breeding the crap out of them. But even that, I mean, even if I did a major wither rose farm harvest with a whole bunch of different mobs and stuff, how many am I really realistically gonna get? Like a couple stacks, and I want like 30 stacks of black wool or black dye and all that kind of stuff, just for all the different things we want to do. Anyway, I am going to throw on Netflix. It's time to get serious here. We are going to get rolling on building a heck of a lot of this. I'm going the holy spawn on both sides, and then we'll come back and talk. I finished what I was working on in the overworld, and I was just doing some grind, kind of finishing up the first Negan episode of Walking Dead, which, you know, no spoilers, but yikes, man. Anyway, where the heck did this come from? Did an Enderman? I bet an Enderman picked it up and just dropped it off right here. Okay, fine. Anyway, so I came out here to the end because I want to start next episode's project just a little bit and just kind of get an idea of where I want to go with this. And what it's going to be is we're going to do a little cactus farm out here. Probably not that little, probably a medium-sized cactus farm here, because I want cactus for two major reasons. One, I want the green dye in this world in general, because this whole wing should be great. He just picked up another one. Look at this. Man, they're stealing all my pumpkins. Yeah, this whole wing should be green, have a green stripe, that way, because it's the agricultural wing, and that would be really cool. It'd just be nice to have green dye in general. But then also, additionally, I want to have a cactus farm because that is going to be my main source of bone meal in this entire world. You know, I don't have a mob spawner, and I'm probably quite a ways away from having a mob spawner, so having a nice automatic cactus farm that's rolling the whole time I'm out here in the end, that would be really nice. I'd really like to have that. So that's going to be really cool. And yeah, so basically, right as soon as I get this video edited out, I'm just going to start work on the cactus farm, which he just took a cactus. These guys are taking all my stuff. Anyway, that's one of the reasons why I'm making all this, because I think to do a cactus farm the way I'm going to do it, you need a lot of glass panes, and then it's kind of a rinse and repeat sort of tileable cactus farm that I think should work just fine, although I will test it out here in just a little bit before I actually build it, as I learned from the Squid Farm being a total complete disaster. Anyway, let me dump this stuff in here, and I will see you back in the overworld. So this is spawn. Apparently, I broke my bed. Well, I know I did, because I kept sleeping just to pass the night while I was working on this. And this is spawn. This is the only part that I didn't get done because I ran out of stone right there. But it's close enough to done that we're going to call this phase of it done. And yeah, you can see I have it 3 blocks wide the whole way, and the middle block is regular. This will be where the rail will be, and then we have stairs from alternating nicely textured on either side. And it goes the whole way around. It goes the whole way over to there, and then this goes the whole way back to the castle area and Grand Central Station, I guess, if you will. And yeah, it's really good. By the way, if you're wondering how we're going to get through the mountain here, this is going to be a big cave where you can walk, and this. It'll be a nicely done, decorated cave at some point. Oh, speaking of cave, I should show this. You know, I don't know if I ever did. So here, whenever we're working here on the fishing village, and I was building the mountain up around here, I thought, hey, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if instead of go around this little water inlet, if we made this into a cool little cave? So I just built it out in this way. So eventually what we can do is we can make this a nice atmospheric sort of cave, maybe a way in there. Like maybe we could do a little windy way in, because this is going to be a big build up on top of that. And yeah, maybe, I don't know, we're gonna have to work something like that out, but that could be really, really cool. And yeah, I feel good about it. I'm a little hesitant. I'll be totally honest. I'm a little hesitant about this walkway because it is a departure from what we've been doing. But I trust that once we slap a roof on it and make it look kind of like this aqueduct, like it's going to look very, very medieval. And you know, we need to get a ton of supports and all that kind of stuff. And that'll all come in time. You know, it's going to take a while. But yeah, really cool stuff, I think. I think this is going to be great. And it's going to be really nice, you know, from maybe up in the castle. Maybe we'll have one of these that goes up to the castle, you know, up to the storage room, you know, and then you can just take it from the storage room right down to Grand Central Station and then out to the Iron Farm or out to Spawn or out to the Squid Farm, whether it's this one or the other one, who knows which one it is, or the Gold Farm or whatever. I think it's going to be just a fun sort of way of getting around, and who knows how often we'll use it, but you could use it, and I think that's probably the most important part. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I know it's kind of weird because I had this plan to do a Squid Farm and then nothing worked and all that stuff. So, you know, hopefully we'll find out once 1.16.2 comes out and they address the squid spawning in bubble columns issue, and then we can actually have access to black ink, which is going to really help us in the end as well. But I'll see you all next episode. We're heading back to the moon next time to work on a cactus farm. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.